Plus, cancer strikes a Portland family twice. Now they're getting help from people who also know what that type of loss and pain is like firsthand. But before we get to all that, let's check in with Daisy Caballero for a quick look at the forecast.
Hey, good morning, China. Good morning to all of our viewers. Happy Sunday. Taking you outside because if you're planning to drive within the next 30 minutes or hour, this is what you're going to be dealing with. Morning fog for your morning commute. It's currently 57 degrees here in the Rose City. The rest of our current temperatures, still many of us in the 50s and 40s, 49 degrees for Hillsborough, 56 for Westland, also for Happy Valley. More of those 50s along the coastline, and 37 degrees for both Baker City and Burns as of right now. So what else can we expect to see? Well, we're still dealing with a high pressure system here, which is still going to be bringing us clear blue skies for the most part. But right behind it is a cold front that's really going to be changing what our work week is going to be looking like. Rain is in the forecast. Thunderstorms are also in the forecast for Monday and into Tuesday. We'll talk more about that 7-day coming up.
Daisy, thank you. New this morning, Gresham detectives are working a homicide case this morning. We don't have a lot of details right now, but we do know the officers responded to a shooting call just after 9 o'clock last night. They say when they got to the scene near Southeast Powell and 182nd, they found a person dead in the parking lot. Of course, we'll keep you updated as we get more information on this throughout the morning. In the meantime, Portland detectives continue to investigate a fatal shooting in the Old Town neighborhood. Police responded to the scene at Northwest 4th and Everett just before 1 a.m. Saturday morning. One person died at the scene. 2 others were taken by car to the hospital. They're both expected to survive. That death marks Portland's 55th homicide this year. We were at 73 by this point last year. Turning to the growing conflict in the Middle East, Israeli airstrikes continue to destroy targets across Gaza, all in retaliation for Saturday's surprise attack on Israel by the Palestinian militant group Hamas. In Gaza City this morning, Israeli airstrikes leveled buildings, with the residents quickly rushing to search for survivors. More than 200 Israelis were killed on Saturday, a move the government is calling an act of war. As you can imagine, the events in Israel are sending shockwaves around the world that are being felt right here in the Pacific Northwest. Our Edward spoke with a leader in Portland's Jewish community who says it's hard for anyone to believe what has happened there.
Certainly saddened, appalled, shocked that it could even happen.
The Hamas attack happened on Simchat Torah.
It's supposed to be one of the most joyous holidays on the Jewish calendar, and to confront this sort of shocking news, it's just been really difficult.
The surprise attack began with thousands of rockets fired on Israel. Waves of Palestinian gunmen poured out of Gaza and into southern Israel. Hundreds are dead. Israel has responded. Israel's prime minister declared his country is at war.
It's not going to be pretty. Israel will do what it has to do to defend its borders and to defend its people.
Representatives from Oregon and Washington also reacted to the attack. Oregon Senator Jeff Merkley said, "My heart is with the Israeli people and all those impacted by these acts of terrorism against innocent civilians." Oregon Senator Ron Wyden, "The terrorist attack on Israel is appalling. The United States stands with our ally in the face of today's heinous violence." Washington Senator Maria Cantwell, "We must ensure full U.S. support for Israel to defend itself and work to avoid further escalation and a wider war." And finally, Congressman Earl Blumenauer, "I am horrified by the terrorist attacks in Israel, our strongest ally in the region. I firmly stand with the thousands of Israelis in harm's way."
We can't give up hope, but it really makes it hard to envision that there could be peace, because Israelis think, well, if this is what happened in Gaza, can you imagine what would happen in the West Bank if Hamas took over the West Bank?
The Jewish Federation of Greater Portland has a community gathering set for tomorrow night. There's also an emergency fund set up for donations at jewishportland.org. Tens of thousands of Kaiser Permanente employees are back at work this morning after a 3-day strike came to a close yesterday. Some 4,000 Kaiser employees in Oregon and Southwest Washington were among 75,000 workers who walked off the job earlier this week, demanding better pay, more staffing, increased job protections. Kaiser officials say they're working with SEIU union leaders to set the next bargaining date. However, the strike by Kaiser pharmacy workers, who are part of a separate union, continues after they walked off the job last Sunday. It's set to go until October 21st unless a deal is reached. A Northeast Portland family is dealing with the toughest challenges life could throw at you despite suffering. They are moving forward with a little bit of help. Thomas Schultz has that story.
It's been tough, but every day, one foot in front of the other.
A few months ago, DeAndrea Menifee heard the news no one wants to hear. She was diagnosed with breast cancer.
I'm really scared, but I'm trying to just keep it all together for my kids.
She hasn't been able to work since May. Her savings dried up and struggling to provide for 2 kids and pay the mortgage on her home.
This is our family house.
The only Black-owned home on the block, and the house her mother bought when DeAndrea was in 2nd grade, though a few years ago she passed away from cancer. This home, her mom's remaining legacy.
For us to still be able just to maintain and still be able to, keep the things that my mom worked so hard for.
Is most important.
Yeah.
In 2018, DeAndrea's dad died. Again, cancer. And about a year ago, her son's father, Nate Trigardis, who coached their son Jaden's basketball team,
hey, good job, Nimi,
was diagnosed with stage 4 penile cancer. He coached to keep kids off the street and in school.
I was born to help kids. I was born to use my life to touch other people's lives. And I just want to be able to continue to do that.
And he did just that, all the way until the end. Thursday, he passed away.
It's hard because you can't protect your kid from stuff like that. You know what I mean? The only thing you can kind of do is just be there for them.
Be there for them while she undergoes her own fight, one of many battling breast cancer. Almost a third of cancer diagnoses for women is for breast cancer. The median age, 62. But unfortunately for some, that diagnosis comes far sooner. DeAndrea,
she has a 5-year-old son,
is only 33, though she has help from Michelle's Love, a nonprofit that boosts up single parents battling cancer.
We're going to be able to pay her mortgage while she's doing her treatment.
And clean her home, provide meals too for DeAndrea and her kids Jaden and 5-year-old Kyrie, while she prepares for a close approaching surgery, less than 3 weeks away, so she can recover and move forward, one foot in front of the other. In Northeast Portland, Thomas Schultz, KGW News.